Pricing your home correctly is one of the most important decisions that you'll make when you're selling. It's the foundation for your entire strategy. Get it right, and you're going to attract serious buyers and get lots of activity and get multiple offers. Get it wrong, and you could end up sitting on the market, or even worse, lose thousands. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire process of how we price homes, the data that's involved, and exactly what pitfalls you need to avoid. So stick around. This is going to be really important for you if you're ready to sell.
Okay, let's go.
When your home first hits the market, it's like a movie premiere, and you only get one opening weekend. Those first couple of weeks that you're on market, those are the most critical, and that's where you're going to get the most attention. It's during this time span that the buyer interest, the showing activity, and the online visibility are at its highest. If your home is overpriced when it hits the market, you lose critical momentum. The property then sits, the listing starts to age, and then buyers start asking, what's wrong with this house? And that's when the price cuts start to happen. And once you reduce the price, the perception shifts. You start looking less desirable and more desperate. Homes that are priced correctly from day one always tend to sell faster and for more money. In contrast, the homes that are overpriced, they sit longer, it takes longer to sell, and then they end up selling for less money than they would have if they had priced it right from the beginning. So let's talk about some of the biggest pricing pitfalls that I see all the time. One of the biggest mistakes I've seen over and over again is pricing based on emotion. And it's normal to have an emotional attachment to your home. It's the place where you've built memories, or possibly even raised a family, or simply just the place that you've invested time and money. But the buyers don't see those memories. What the buyers are looking at is your home versus every other home on the market. And pricing your home based on emotion will always lead to disappointment. Another mistake that I see far too often is ignoring your real estate agent's advice. You hire a real estate agent because they're the market expert. It's their job to know inventory levels and market data and pricing trends. So if you're going to ignore them and base your pricing off of either a gut feeling or your neighbor's opinion, or even worse, a Zestimate, it's going to lead to nothing but disappointment. This next one, I hear this from almost every single seller. Let's price it a little bit higher so that way we have room for negotiation. This is a tactic that probably worked well decades ago. But in the modern era where buyers have much more advanced and technological ways of viewing properties and seeing what comparable sales are out there, it just doesn't work anymore. If they see that your home is priced too high, they're just going to move on to the next one. Here's why starting too high can really hurt you. Once a home is listed, the buyer activity is highest at the beginning. After a few weeks, views and showings drop off dramatically. Every time you reduce your price, your listing is reintroduced, but not as something new or exciting. Buyers wonder what's wrong with it or assume you're getting desperate. The longer your home sits, the more negotiating power shifts from you, the seller, to the buyer. That's why you never want to chase the market downward. Start strong and price it accurately. That way you stay ahead of the curve. So let's break down the three main strategies that I use when pricing my listings. And if this goes too quickly, don't worry. There's a link below where you can download my seller's guide and all of it is there for you. The first is the most obvious, pricing right at the market value. This means you've priced your home accurately based on comparable sales and current demand. The pros, you attract serious buyers, fewer appraisal issues, and strong online visibility. The cons, you may not feel as aggressive, especially if there are other sellers on the market that are undercutting you. Now, I'm not one to ever say leave money on the table. However, this next strategy is the one that I always recommend because it will accomplish all of the goals that sellers are looking for, and that's pricing just below market value. This strategy is designed to create urgency and competition. It generates more showings, higher interest, and can lead to multiple offers. The con is it's riskier if inventory is low or if buyers misinterpret it as a sign of distress. The key here is making sure to present the home in the best light possible, so that way when they see it, they know that there is no distress. You're just priced aggressively to sell. Now, this last one, this is the one that creates the most problems for sellers, and that's pricing it over the market value. This is where sellers get in trouble. More cons than anything else. It limits your audience, it increases the time on market, and it leads to price reductions. And if you're lucky enough to go under contract over market value, that's great, but you might run into appraisal issues, which will either lead to a price reduction or the deal not closing. The bottom line here is you might think that you're protecting your equity, but statistically, you're doing the complete opposite. So now let's talk about something small that makes a big difference. Psychological pricing. When you list your home at $499,000 versus $500,000, it shows up in more buyer searches. Online platforms like Zillow, Realtor.com, and Redfin all filter by price brackets. That $1,000 difference could make your listing visible to an entirely new group of buyers. The same goes for awkward price points. If everyone in the neighborhood is listing at $450 to $475 and you list at $489, it makes you look out of touch. You want to be competitive in your price bracket, not just listing high so you can negotiate later. Now let's talk about how I do it for my sellers. When I price a home, it's not guesswork. It is a data-driven strategy. So let me break down my process for you right here. First things first, I'm going to look at all the comparable sales in the neighborhood. I start by analyzing recently sold homes within your neighborhood that match yours in size, condition, and features. Next, I'm going to look at all the active competition. I evaluate what's currently on market because that is your competition. Buyers are comparing your home directly to those listings. Next, I look at the absorption rate. This measures how quickly homes are selling in your area. If inventory is high, buyers have more leverage. If it's low, pricing aggressively can drive demand. Next up is the condition of your home and any upgrades that you might have done. I factor in your home's condition, improvements, and unique features to identify where you stand compared to the competition that is on market right now and those sold listings. And lastly, market momentum. I study the trends, whether prices are climbing, leveling off, or dipping, so that way I can anticipate where the market will be by the time that we close, not just today. Because of my extensive background in real estate, which includes being a buyer, being a seller, being an investor, being a title company, being a hard money lender, and most importantly for you, being a realtor, I know how to analyze every single bit of data to make sure that we price the home correctly. And through the additional coursework to achieve the designations that I have, I've also learned how to use advanced pricing models to make sure that my clients are positioned exactly where they need to be to attract the right buyers. So let's look at the big picture here. Pricing is not just about what I think or what you want. Pricing is, at the end of the day, what a ready, willing, and able buyer is willing to pay for it in this market. My goal is to help you make market data-backed decisions so that you are positioned correctly for the best possible outcome when selling your home. When you start at the right price, you're not just selling faster, you're protecting your equity. So if you're interested in selling your home here in Southwest Florida, go ahead and click the link below, schedule a strategy session with me. I will do a free market analysis that is 100% data-driven and completely tailored to your home. As I mentioned earlier on in this video, down below there's another link where you can download my free seller's guide that breaks down all of the information that I did in this video and more. And as always, if you have any questions about pricing, strategy, or what your next move should be, I'm here and I'd love to connect. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel for constant updates on what's happening here in the Southwest Florida real estate market and general real estate tips. Can't wait to see you on the next video.